Now to the conflict in the Middle East, where the war between the U.S. and Iran is entering its 9th week. Now, the White House says President Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner are heading to Islamabad this morning for talks with the Iranian foreign minister. Meantime, Iranian officials are saying they have no plans to meet with the U.S. reps. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tyab is in Islamabad with the latest.
Good morning. Well, when Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi arrived here in Islamabad last night, he was only expected to stay for a few hours, but instead he held talks with top Pakistani officials well into the early hours of the morning, and he's still here. Now, all of this is amid growing uncertainty over whether he will meet face-to-face with President Trump's special envoys here in the capital.
The red carpet was rolled out for Abbas Araghchi's arrival. The Iranian foreign minister was met by Pakistan's powerful army chief, Field Marshal Asim Munir, and other senior leaders who have been acting as mediators between the U.S. and Iran, even as Tehran publicly denied he would also meet with the White House's negotiators. Overnight, President Trump announced his special envoys, Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner, would travel to Islamabad later today for a second round of direct talks.
The president is, as I've said many times to all of you, always willing to give diplomacy a chance. So Steve and Jared will be heading to Pakistan tomorrow to hear the Iranians out. We hope progress will be made, and we hope that positive developments will come from this meeting.
The White House also says Vice President J.D. Vance, who led the first round of direct talks earlier this month, is on standby to travel if there's a breakthrough. And while the Pakistani brokered ceasefire is still holding, tensions over the Strait of Hormuz continue to rise. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says U.S. forces will maintain their blockade of the narrow waterway, where 20% of the world's oil passes.
The United States has imposed an ironclad blockade that grows more powerful by the day. From the Gulf of Oman to the open oceans, our Navy is enforcing this blockade without hesitation or apology.
Iranian leaders insist there will be no further talks until that blockade is lifted. Since the ceasefire nearly 3 weeks ago, both sides have been asserting control, intercepting ships and blocking vessels, turning the strait into a central battleground in these negotiations.
For now, diplomacy, it seems, is still in motion, a sign that neither side really wants to return to all-out war. But while the outlines of a deal are reportedly beginning to take shape on things like Iran's nuclear program, sanctions, and of course the future of the strait, any final agreement remains out of reach as both sides continue to dig in. Adriana.
Imtiaz Tyab, thank you so much.